for an extra distance race, is under the radar for the first 15 laps, and then she will try to make a move. We'll see if that strategy will pay off. She's right behind one of her nemesises, and that is Sean Monahan.
Green flags are in the air, and the battle begins right up front on the outside. The 19 of Kyle Garrow is able to get to the lead and lead the rest of the pack
Megan
through.
Fuller goes around, and she is hammered by Ryan Waterman, front row alongside Kyle Garrow. And Megan Fuller, she will be restarting, but this time, instead of being in the 10th spot, she will be at the rear of the field.
Pace car is off, and the green flag is in the air. Back underway. Can Garrow get the jump again from the outside? And does. This time he's taking Larry Barnett with him.
As Larry Barnett is grabbing onto the shirt tail of Kyle Garrow, using it to try to get by Kevin Mason, and he will blowtorch his way past the 37 car. Here comes Sundin on the outside of Mason, trying to infiltrate the top three.
Boy, that's a great race from third on back, side by side for Sundin. Up on the outside.
For Korea, pointed in the wrong direction.
And trying to get the car refired.
41st lap. Right now, there's nothing subtle about the way that Kyle Garrow has started this race, as he has been like a lightning bolt coming out of the cloud. Let's see if he can continue that tradition.
Looks to repeat history, but Larry Barnett's giving him a run for his money. They are side by side across the stripe, sailing down into turn one.
As Larry Barnett all over the side of Kyle Garrow's car like aluminum siding on a roof, 3 wide behind him. And the winner of that battle is Kevin Mason, is getting stuck in the middle with Sundin. Malburn on the grass, Morgan on the grass, and in the lead is Larry Barnett.
Trouble for Malburn. I don't know if he had a tire go down or what the deal was, but he went to the bottom of the racetrack, pitched this car sideways like he was trying to get to down to the pit road, and is still stuck at the bottom.
A lot of vehicles from which to choose.
Pace car is off, and green flag is in the air once again. Here's that race between Garrow and Barnett will win the battle down into turn one once again. Garrow hanging tough down there on the inside, and Sundin comes right along with him down the backstretch.
And we could have trouble, as it looked like the 47 of Fanning was going to go around, and he was able to recover. So a pretty good move by Fanning to keep us under green. Getting boxed around in between turns 3 and 4 is Kevin Mason, as a traffic jam there, but everybody is able to keep moving, and Mason is very sluggish on the outside groove.
Yeah, flat tire on that car, and he's just trying to get to the bottom so he can get out of there. But you're right, he was like the pinball being jousted around there going into the turn.
Yeah, like ping pong balls in a lottery jar. He was being kicked all over the track. Barnett leading by a couple of car lengths over the combination of Garrow and Sundin. In the number 4 position is Sean Monahan, as the wagon master is making his way through the field, and Sundin is just trying to get enough oomph to get that car onto the safety road.
Well, Sean Monahan has the swaggin' wagon pretty hooked up today. We saw that in the qualifying heat, and this time he's going to work on Kyle Garrow, makes the pass.
Garrow goes around. Who brings it works, and sometimes it doesn't. Right now, 2 cars that are working in the front row. Larry Barnett on the outside, Scott Sundin on the inside. 2 veterans ready for action.
Green flag is in the air, and Barnett gets a great launch out of turn number 4 and will lead them down into the first turn. Sundin now has his hands full with some competition on the outside.
And that is Corey Fanning, who is plastered to the outside of the number 36 car. Sean Monahan in 4th, and Ryan Waterman is next in this race. Unless you're in the front row and your name is Scott Sundin or Larry Barnett. Those 2 guys are looking comfortable as we get ready to raise the stakes here, and the top 2 come out of turn 4.
Green flag once again, and Larry Barnett again with a great launch. Sundin hangs with him down into turn one. Will look at the inside, but can't make the pass. Barnett able to pull ahead on the backstretch, and a pretty good battle between Gleason and Sean Monahan in the 55. That is the race for the third spot.
Yeah, Gleason was able to get around Monahan. Now Sean trying to carve his way underneath the 81 car. Moving up is Ryan Waterman, car number 24. He is a wild card in this scenario. Barnett almost lost the lead to Sundin. Sundin is going to try it again.
Boy, he got a good run out of turn two that time and will hang tough down on the bottom underneath Barnett. Great race for the lead. Here they come down to the stripe. Score that lap for Scott Sundin as they head down into turn one.
And Barnett is not giving up as Barnett is wallpapered all over the 36. Here is Sean Monahan. Right now he is boxed in. There is no place for that 55 to go. He is hoping room will open up on the inside. Here comes Waterman to make it a four-way fight for the lead.
Yeah, Ryan Waterman right there as well. Gleason in the 81 gives chase. But up front, it's Larry Barnett hanging tough up on the outside of Sundin. Sean Monahan thinks about making it three wide, and he gets a shot from behind by Waterman. That calls for a three wide situation. They're on the brakes hard going into turn three. That's Gleason smoking the left front.
And Waterman almost wound up on the wall.
He's got the most interesting looking race car of the weekend here for sure, and that wagon number 55, and we'll see what it's got under the hood when we get back to green flag racing. Pace car is off.
And let's see who gets the jump. The answer, Larry Barnett. Sundin does not come up to speed. He is in the grass, headed to the sidewall. He is able to keep the car off the wall, but he can't keep it into the lead. And he is stranded. The yellow is getting ready to make an appearance, but Sundin is able to backpedal his way out of the turf. Yellow comes out anyway. Right now, it is time for activity. On the inside, Sean Monahan. On the outside will be the 55. So Barnett against Monahan. And it is time to party.
Green flag. And this time Monahan hangs tough down on the inside of Larry Barnett. And wow, he drives that thing in and takes the lead right in the middle of the turn. I mean, he drove it in really hard, and Larry Barnett had to kind of backpedal and go to the outside. Barnett, meanwhile, lost a spot to Ryan Waterman as Waterman goes to second, and we've got a car around over in the third turn area. The 45 of Tommy Shea is around. The car is moving, but don't know that it's going to be moving fast enough, and we're under caution once again. And once the scorers are happy with the order in which they are on the track right now, the flagman will get the word to double them up. And actually, they're restarting them single file, and the green flag is out. They decided to go to single file restarts so they can complete some laps, and that's a good move. They didn't tell us, but that's all right, because we're back underway, and Sean Monahan's back in the lead.
Moving into fifth, that is Brent Gleason. So we have the Gleason brothers running fourth and fifth, respectively, on the track. And the driver, who is the brightest blip on the radar screen, is Sean Monahan. And it didn't take him long to establish a pretty safe lead over the number 24, Ryan Waterman. Gleason looking to make a move against his brother, Jesse. Cannot get close enough to make it happen.
Here they come off the fourth turn. Monahan firmly in control. And they're strung out pretty good there in the front, except for the Gleason brothers dicing it out for that fourth spot, the 81 and the 01. They've got quite a number of car lengths over Van Pelt, who runs in the sixth spot. Then the number 71 going next, Brendan Houghton in the 71X.
And then we have Malburn and Robinson fighting for the next position. Up at the front of the field is a pretty sturdy lead, opened by Sean Monahan. And Monahan is not taking a backward step so far. In the number 2 spot, that is Ryan Waterman. He really hasn't stepped up to become a contender, but it is still early. When they hit the line, they'll still have 15 full laps to go.
Yeah, Monahan seems to be able to run that car wherever he wants and continues to put about a half a car length over Waterman with each and every lap. That's the race up front. The 0-1 of Brent Gleason able to make that pass on Jesse, and now he's going after Larry Barnett. Gleason closing in on the back bumper of the 73 as they go under the cross flags. We are now halfway through the extra distance limited sportsman feature.
And here is Gleason as he is hanging on the back bumper like a trailer hitch of the Barnett car. Might have room to the inside as he is going to try to firecracker his way underneath the 73. So single file, sometimes the guy in second can get a pretty good run against the leader and make a move. So you think single file restart, it prohibits you from making an early move. That isn't necessarily the case.
Green flag is in the air, and Sean Monahan will hold on to the lead down across the stripe. Ryan Waterman will hang with him in the 24, in fact, challenge him. Taking a look at the left rear quarter panel, but can't make the pass, and they string it out a little bit on the backstretch.
He tried to make his car skinny to get it underneath the 55. He's going to try it again. Moving up into the top 3, Larry Barnett, followed by the 0-1 of Gleason, Brent Gleason, and then Jesse Gleason. But some breathing room for Monahan as he leads by about the length of a pitchfork over Ryan Waterman.
Trouble for Jeff Van Pelt, who had a top 10 run going. He's slow on the backstretch, up on the high side in the number 13, trying to get down to get to pit road, evidently, as the car is slowing, and yes, makes that left turn onto pit road. Tough break for the 13.
Yeah, he had a difficult time keeping it off the wall, but he was able to do it. Sean Monahan has gashed open a pretty substantial lead over the combination of Butch Chamberlain and Leadfoot Larry Barnett. Here comes the 16, and the 55 of Monahan, and he is still the loudest trumpet in the orchestra with 12 laps to go.
It's a pretty good battle from second on back. Barnett stays within striking distance of Ryan Waterman's number 24, and then the Gleason brothers are right there too, ready to strike. Barnett trying to find just a little more speed so that he can get a nose down underneath Waterman. Drifts up the racetrack in the middle of 1 and 2 and loses about a half a length. They'll come around this time to get 10 laps to go.
Almost a three-way battle on the backstretch between Robinson, Fanning, and Malburn, and Robinson was able to drive away from trouble. So we are getting into the question mark area of this race. Will these cars struggle in the final 10 laps? We are about to find out the answer to that question. It doesn't look like Sean Monahan is going to struggle because he continues to have a sturdy lead.
He's got enough of a lead that he could take that wagon to the grocery store and pick up a week's worth of provisions and still win the race. And he guides that car out of town, turn 2 and down the backstretch, and again starts to gain by about a half a length with every lap.
He took the lead from Larry Barnett, and now he continues to maintain it. Trying to make a racket is Brett Gleason in the 0-1. His brother is immediately behind him. Then Jason Chikolis running 6. Zach Robinson running 7th. But the class of the field continues to be Sean Monahan.
Clicking off the laps now as they get pretty well spread out. On the backstretch, the 36 of Scott Sundin trying to pick up spots. He was up at the front not all that long ago, but spinning on a restart got put to the back, and continues to make some passes to gain position, but he's got quite a ways to go if he's going to break himself back in.
And he goes around.
And there he goes again.
And he winds up in John Deere country. Let's see what he does. It looks like he is headed back out onto the asphalt, and we avoid yellow.
And all that work for nothing by Scott Sundin after passing so many cars on the last couple of restarts, and he gets drop kicked back quite a bit. And a tough break for the 36. Be 5 laps to go this time by. 5 to go for the 55 as he'll flash across the stripe. Waterman in a comfortable second. Larry Barnett for third. And Brett Gleason in the 0-1.
And Brett goes upstairs. Car on life support was Jesse Gleason as it was riding very close to the wall. So it looks like Jesse Gleason has lost most of his giddy-up. Has a low line this time in between turns 3 and 4, but you see the back end almost wanted to come out from under that 81 car after he left turn 4.
Well, the other Gleason brother was trying quite a bit to get around Larry Barnett, but the laps are winding down. He really was up on the back bumper there at one point, and right now he's lost a little bit to Barnett. That's the best race up at the front, the race for third. Trouble on the backstretch. Got 3 cars involved. Sundin again in the 36.
Jack Aquilina, one of those involved.
Ooh, and the caution flag will come out.
Yet to come here at Thompson. A 3-lap tussle for the trophy.
Pace car is off. Sean Monahan sets the pace, sees the green flag, and maintains that lead across the stripe. But you can be sure that Ryan Waterman's going to go as hard as he can here with any opportunity to close in on the lead. But boy, what a jump out of turn 2. Sean Monahan, like putting the afterburners on, pulls away from him on the straightaway.
Yeah, he is leading by 1.1 second over Ryan Waterman as they boogie their way across the line. 2 laps to go. And Brett Gleason is in trouble. He is losing some positions. So that car, an SOS, goes out to the 0-1. Nothing but blue skies for Sean Monahan. The big battle is for second and third between Waterman and Barnett.
Yeah, Larry Barnett has really gone to the whip in the late action here, trying to pass Waterman to get at least the second spot back. But he's got less than a lap to get it done, as more trouble for that 0-1 of Brent Gleason, slow on the bottom of the racetrack. Too bad he had a solid top 5 going.
But here comes Sean Monahan, ready to put the exclamation point on a big-time run. He exits turn 4, and the Velvet Hammer has pounded the field in our 30-lap feature. Ryan Waterman second, Larry Barnett was third. Brett Gleason might have ran out of gas.
Icebreaker weekend, wouldn't you say?
Well, if the car wasn't that fast, it better be with Ryan on your tail. You know, no weapon formed against me shall prosper. I got squeezed into the wall early on. I didn't know if we were going to, we were trying to be real patient the first few laps. I was losing spots. I knew the car was fast, but, don't call it a comeback because I never left.
Now, is it tough to get a rhythm going as we had, kind of a ragged start in today's race?
Oh, yeah. I'm kind of glad it took so long to get going because they went single file. I really didn't want to restart. I didn't know if I should have taken the high line or the bottom. Ryan's a fierce competitor, and we're just really fortunate to be here today, and not just to be in victory lane, but to live free in this country. So, thank you for all the veterans who've come out and supported us tonight and enjoyed the show. But praise the Lord. I want to thank my son, Brody, my wife, Jennifer, my organizer, Dave. Charlie Band has been by my side for a long time. Tick Mike, and what about the Swaggin' Wagon?
Well, Matt, the Swaggin'